All right, so this is Katie Helms, right?
Helmet.
From
Kate Helmet.
Helms, yes, from the University of Texas at Arlington. All right, so welcome to um, our portfolio review, Sin City portfolio and college fair. Okay, I will let you go ahead and start because we're already 5 minutes into it.
Okay. Hi, guys. Sorry about the lateness. My name is Kate. I'm here from the University of Texas at Arlington, and just a little background on me. I got my master's degree there, so I'm a big advocate of the program, but I won't waste a lot of time on that. I'm going to, hopefully, if I can figure it out, be able to share my screen with you. If I can, oh, where did it go? I had a PowerPoint presentation about my program.
All right, let me.
There we go.
I can't share it. You need to either share the simultaneous multiple users for the share screen or make me a co-host.
I'm going to make you a co-host because I cannot get it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, share screen. Okay. Let me know if that works. There we go.
You got it?
Open system preferences. All right. It's making me quit. I'll be right back on. I'm so sorry, guys.
No worries.
No worries.
All right. All right. Am I here?
Yes.
Beautiful. Let's share screen now. PowerPoint presentation, share. There we go. That looks like what I want it to look like. So you're at school at UTA. At UTA, we value our intellectual and creative freedom. Our curriculum that we use provides students with a multitude of intellectually stimulating environments and in a comprehending and fundamental nature in visual arts, its boundaries and methods and technologies. This is basically just a really nice way of saying we really value our students to become the best artists that they can be. We're not trying to recreate our own art in you. We're trying to make you the best version of yourselves. So that's something that I really enjoyed about UTA, and I like to really bring to all the students that I talk to, is that it's about you becoming the best version of yourself. We have Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Art, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Art with teaching certification, a Bachelor of Arts in Art that has a minor involved with it, a Bachelor's of Art in Art History that has a minor on it. And then, of course, I already talked about it. We have a Master's in Fine Arts because that's where I got my master's. We have several areas of study. One is in art history, but art history isn't just for art historians. We have lots and lots of students who study art history with a part of their program just as studio artists. So there's 4 art history courses that all studio majors end up taking. So it's a big part of what we do, is trying to teach you the history behind things so that you can then utilize that for your own art making practice. We also have art education. Art education is probably one of my most favorite areas just because it's a little different than the other areas. There's no real focus besides art education. So you can learn a little bit about clay, you can learn a little bit about photography, you can learn a little bit about drawing and painting, and that way you can really embrace anything when you go out and teach into the world, which I think is really, really nice. Our area is also very community driven. So a lot of times you get a lot of practice in terms of teaching and being in front of classroom, even before you go into the classroom setting, which I think is really, really cool. Our 2D areas include drawing, painting, and printmaking. Each of our areas really try to push the envelope in terms of what these mediums mean and what they can provide for you. Even areas as traditional as printmaking utilizes things like CNC routers to get their students involved, vinyl cutters. So there's a lot of different technologies that they're bringing into the classroom so that students can learn new ways of thinking and processing these very traditional mediums. We have 3D areas like clay, glass, and sculpture. Sculpture in general is clay is more traditional at our school. The sculpture program's more interpretive. There's a lot of things that happen in the sculpture program that like how can painting be a sculpture? How can a photo be a sculpture? Or how can we utilize these different things to change a room? So the sculpture is very innovative as well. And then the glass program is just bar none. If you ever wanted to learn glass, I would learn it at a university setting because it ends up being cheaper than learning it in the private sector. And you get a lot of hands-on experience, and our glass program really, really does. We have several media areas such as photography, film, video, visual communication design, and then we do have an animation and gaming track that students are on. That's not a full-fledged program yet, but we're working towards that. For the photography, we have large format printers. There's also more analog processes. For the film video, their sort of motto is in order to make films, you got to make films, which I know sounds a little crazy, but there's a lot of programs out there that are very theory-based. Ours is very hands-on production-based. So we really take to heart that motto and just trying to get students with a camera in their hand in the first couple semesters they come. The visual communications program is a really great design program. It's one of the top in the countries for public institutions. And we really, that has a lot to do with some of the programs that we provide within that, which I'll talk about in a couple seconds. And then of course, our animation gaming track right now is associated with a lot of drawing and then animation gaming classes. So we do have some little extras at our school, such as packaging. Packaging is a really big area for us, and it's rare to see packaging in schools. These days, it's sort of newer, but it's $1 billion a year industry, at least. That's what it was a few years ago, so it might be even more now. But it's $1 billion a year industry, and people don't really learn about it in school. So our school has a packaging program. One of the different assignments they do is one time they had to figure out how to pack a light bulb with 4 hammers and ship it and make sure that that would not only look and be beautifully shipped, but also get there in one piece intact. So I always thought that was a really cool project. Design Texas is kind of like an internship, but it's in a classroom setting. But what Design Texas is we bring the clients to the classroom instead of taking the students to the clients. So we think that's a really cool initiative. And then of course we do a lot with internships and study abroad. We currently have 2 buildings, the Fine Arts Building and the Studio Art Center. Fine Arts Building houses photography, visual communication design, film, video, our studios, foundation studios, the gallery, and of course the admissions offices. The Studio Arts Center houses painting, printmaking, clay, glass, sculpture. It has a courtyard and a student-run gallery, as well as it houses some of our drawing. Drawing is now in both buildings, actually. We have several foundational courses that all students are taking regardless of major, things like 2D design, drawing fundamentals, 3D design, digital design. Students would have to take an upper level 2D studio such as printmaking, drawing, and painting. Students would have to take an upper level 3D studio such as glass blowing, kiln-form glass, sculpture, or clay. And students would have to take a media studio such as typography, photography, or intro to film video. And the last bottom three, the 2D, 3D, and media studios do depend on your major. So obviously, if you're a drawing major, you would take your 2D studio as drawing, whereas if you were a photo major, your media studio would be intro to photography. A lot of students ask about portfolio reviews when they do art school. And for us, we let students come and create a portfolio with us instead of forcing you to have a portfolio ready when you come. So we actually review your work at 21 studio hours, and we call it concentration portfolio review, or CPR.
All right, Kate, our time is up. I would like to thank you for presenting today. You know, hopefully next time you'll be able to come to El Paso and visit us.
Yes, of course.
And if there's any questions, you know, how can they contact you?
Let me get to the last slide and then it'll have my contact information. That's my email, Kate Helmes, HELMES @uta.edu.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate that you were here. I'm sorry we had a little technical difficulties.
That's okay. It was on my end. So I totally,
Well, I
my
think it was
fault.
both. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank
right.
you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.